Hi guys, some time ago I went to Montpellier in France to interview the billionaire and the world entrepreneur of the year 2015, Mohed Altrad. We spent 2 days talking about his success secrets, about his approach to business, to life, and at that time I recorded a video before and after the interview. In this video I talk about the 5 careers that Mohed has made in his life, and he was extremely successful in all 5 of these careers, and a little bit about the things that made him so successful in these careers. I invite you to watch this video with me now. See you in the next part. Hi, today from the beautiful Montpellier at the Côte d'Azur in France. As you know, I have interviewed here the World Entrepreneur of the Year 2015, Mohed Altrad. As I found out, he is not only a billionaire and made a career in business, he actually made 4 distinct careers. First of all, when he arrived penniless from Syria to France, he put all his effort into educating himself. So he made a career in science. He became a PhD in computer science and was one of the best scholars, if you will, or at least students in the country. And he was also one of the best students in Syria before he came here. Also, he was extremely poor, started going barefoot to school, no family, no money. Nevertheless, he was very successful in that. And you will see throughout all his career, whatever he does, he always puts all his effort in that, all his energy, and does everything to become the best in his field. So the next career, he actually is responsible for the wealth of Abu Dhabi. He was one of the few people who built the National Abu Dhabi Oil Company. As an engineer, there was just a handful of people doing that, and they struck oil in Abu Dhabi, offshore, built all the infrastructure, everything. And the results you can see today. This is one of the richest countries or richest, let's say, cities in the world. Why? Because of all the oil they pump and they sell. Right? So he was one of the guys who actually built the company without being a shareholder of that company in Abu Dhabi for them. So with that, he came back to France again and started to do business, and he built actually 2 very successful companies here. First was a company building portable computers back in the 90s, in the middle of 90s, 1984 and 5, I think. Then he sold that company and built a bankrupt scaffolding company, which he developed into multi-billion-dollar business, and is now a world leader in his industry. And this brought him all the wealth he has. But this is not the last of his careers. Then he started writing, and he has written 3 novels until now. One of them, his semi-autobiographical novel Badawi, won several prizes in France, and was also recommended for schools, for the children to read about his story and what is possible for a poor immigrant in a foreign country. And this book actually is not only recommended, it's in the south of France, in some regions, is even obligatory at school. So you could see it as a kind of success already. But he writes another novels And his goal is actually, he told me, to write something in the ranks of Tolstoy, of Dostoevsky, of Victor Hugo, of all these big guys in literature who will stay for centuries. A book which people will read even 100 years later or in the future. So he always has big goals and tries to achieve as much as possible, and he actually always until now he has always managed to become one of the best, if not the best, in the field which he puts his energy into. So this is something I have learned about him I didn't know before, and he actually also writes about business, and this is something which makes him different from so many other businessmen, billionaires, and very successful people also. He is kind of a business philosopher, I would say. A business philosopher, spending nights because he doesn't sleep much, like before, maybe 5 hours a day. So he spends nights, mornings, thinking about business, thinking about life, and then he either writes about it in his books. He actually writes also one book on economy. Because he thinks books in economy should be written by people who were successful in economy, in business, and not by theorists because who never did business, by professors who have just nice ideas and numbers, but they don't have the experience. They don't really know what they write about. But he also incorporates his ideas into his business, right? And this makes him maybe similar to other billionaires, an independent thinker. What does it mean? It means you have contrary ideas, not something you read about and then you do it like the others. No, you are convinced about the idea, about the validity of that idea, and then you really apply that idea and make it real, or at least test the idea. So for example, in his case, something unusual I have found is he believes like personal secretaries are just luxury. They are not necessary. They actually slow down the process, and they may even be derogatory for the organization or for the workflow. So in his organization there are no secretaries, and he personally doesn't have one. So if you want to deal with him, you need to deal with him personally. There is nobody forwarding the emails, filtering, sorting, or whatever. It means for him a huge workload of information to go through, but it also means he can react more quickly. And of course there are great savings in the organization because all these people need to be paid, right? There is like a greater proximity between him and the topics or the company, the organization, and also the managers who doesn't have secretaries. They are just closer to the action. Also something that struck me about him is despite the extreme success in business and his unbelievable wealth, he is a billionaire, right? He is a very humble, kind person and respectful for the people around him. So we went to this lunch together with his family, his kids, and he said hello to everybody there, to all his employees, all his players, because it was at he owns also a rugby team in France, and actually this is now the best team in Europe. They won the European Championship or the European Champions League, something like that in rugby. So they are not only the best in France, they are the best in Europe. You could say his fifth career as a team owner. But we went there and to the restaurant in the club. He showed me around in the stadium, wonderful, great stadium for rugby. I don't have much clue about rugby, but I liked the atmosphere there, how it all works, and how he does business there, and apparently extremely successful. During the lunch, 50 people coming up to him and greeting him, and he has like small talk with everybody. Extremely respectful to the people, extremely kind, and this is certainly something which makes him himself respected and maybe loved in the community, in the company, and you can see this atmosphere of respect and acknowledgement in his company. If you are interested in the things that made Mohed so extremely successful in his life, and of course in the 20 principles of billionaire wealth and success that made the over 20 self-made billionaires that I have interviewed so extremely successful in business, I encourage you to read my book, The $1 Billion Secret. You can get a free chapter of that book here at thebilliondollarsecret.com. I will provide a link below this video in the description. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here a lot about the best entrepreneurs in the world, about how the self-made billionaires in our world think and act. So if you like this video, I invite you to watch my other videos. That's it for today. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.